Hello everyone, welcome to the Pequeño pod with Señor Pequeños. New year, new intro, same relaxed comedy. Please consider supporting us on Patreon as we are but poor lost circus performers and it helps pay for podcast equipment, editing hours, and also gets you some fun little goofy benefits. And if you choose not to, that's fine. That's fine. We'd appreciate a 5-star rating. We read comments and reviews in every episode, so enjoy this free one and have a horrible day.
I didn't realize how old Michael Keaton was. He's in his 70s.
Really? He doesn't look like he's 70.
I want to get his autograph so bad, but he's impossible to get.
If you ever see him in person, he's like passing by, just shout that you love Knox Goes Away, and he'll stop and talk to you.
What's the story? Give me the story.
It's the second movie he's ever directed, first one in like 20 years.
What's your favorite quote?
I love when he says, I'm going away.
It's showtime.
I love when he knocks us all over the place and then goes away. Hi, Lively.
Hello.
Did you get a tornado at the pool?
Oh yeah, it was a thunderstorm, lightning. I know, those kids are so annoying. They're like, I want to swim out in it. I want to swim. And I'm like, I have to close the pool.
Do it.
Yeah.
You hand them all metal rods.
Struck by lightning.
That's just the thing. It's like, I would let them, but then I'm like, I have to sit there and like, honestly, I don't care. You know what? They kept banging on the gate to let me in, to let them back in. And then I was like, you know what? There's 5 minutes till we close anyways. It's going to take like 15 minutes to wrangle you guys out. I'm not going to stand out in the rain and lightning the whole time. So, no, thank you.
That's crazy. You've had some wild story. It continues to get worse. You had kids that were so animalistic they were ripping the wood panels off the fucking side of the walls.
Yeah.
And I thought you meant like little like chips of wood. No, you were holding full beams of wood.
It looked like molding.
Yeah,
you were holding full fucking pieces of wood.
Were just. The thing is, those things weren't even loose. Yeah, they weren't loose or anything. I showed the HOA
they had
board,
nails.
And they were like, oh, we just got that completely redone 2 years ago, and that's all fresh paint from a year ago. Nothing about it was damaged at all. They just literally dug their nails under the wood, and they were just dismantling the building. Piece board by board.
And it wasn't glue, it was nails. They pulled it out by fucking nails.
Yeah. They were 5 and
Crazy.
7, so they were like smaller kids, and they were fully just like putting their full body weight into it. They were. Worst part is they have older siblings. They've got that. First of all, that one girl I've complained to you guys about, the one who like exhausts me every time she's there because she just comes into the office the whole time. She watches them. They've got a 14-year-old sibling and a 19-year-old sibling, and they did have the oldest sibling watching them, and they were just in the shower for a full hour. They just kept turning on the shower in the locker room, and I was like, I guess I'll just let them go ahead until they left the 5 and 7-year-old unattended, and another mom was like, hey, so kids are like beating each other with sticks out there? And I was like, oh, that's not really my responsibility. And they're like, well, the sticks are boards of the building that they just ripped off. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and there was nails actively sticking out of them. It was like the bat that Negan killed Glenn with.
It was. They were hitting each other with that. I was like,
with nails,
psychopaths.
We need to tell Charles Xavier about these. These kids are like fucking mutants. They need to like cage up, throw them out somewhere in war for the U.S. Oh my gosh. Dude, can't hide in a bunker when they're clawing up with their fucking nails.
I sent you the photos of like the blood all over the like pool deck, right? That was that 5-year-old.
Did you guys ever solve that?
I mean, not really, but we just sent out like a notice saying, try to wear aqua sock things or water socks. Like, I don't know. I think the siding of the pool.
Did we talk about this? Because I know like we talked about it in the group chat, but like on here,
everyone's feet were bleeding.
I had to do like 3 incident reports that day. It was bad. We haven't had any issues that bad since then. I mean, I give out a lot of Band-Aids every day.
Since the summer of '79. Julia, you've been working there a year.
It feels like the
few months.
70s, man. It feels. Yeah, no, they were just like, kids were just getting like torn up. I think the siding of the pool, the pool is really old. It opened in like the 60s, but like it's like the siding of it is like scratchy rock stuff, and I think some of it is like coming off now, and there's like sharp rocks at the bottom of the pool when kids are walking along it, basically, or they're just straight up cutting their limbs when they're getting out of the pool.
I love a relaxing day at the Seattle Sharp Rock Pool.
Yeah, when I was like, interviewing the girl for what happened to put it in the incident report thing, she said she pulled herself out of the pool and just split her knee open on the stuff. And so the HOA people were like, please write down what happened with these, because I guess two of the board members have been wanting to get that stuff replaced because they thought it was a safety hazard, and then this old lady who's kind of mean, who in charge of the HOA was like, yeah. She's like, she's like, that's too expensive to take care of, right? And then so they were like, okay, well now maybe we can convince her if we have like these incidents of
it's like the Challenger all over again.
I mean, literally every day people cut themselves like pretty well at this pool, but these were like big gashes where like there could have been stitches for these people, so that was why I was like, all right, I'll make incident reports of this, because I sent you guys a picture, there's blood like everywhere, so it's like, all right, I will have to, we could be in charge of their hospital bills potentially, whatever, right? So the other HOA members were like, please, like, report this stuff. And apparently at the meeting, literally the day before everybody, like, cut themselves open, they were arguing with that old lady about wanting to do the renovations. And so they did the estimate, and it was, like, $1,442,000.
So much.
That's it.
No, they could afford it.
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, like, and then they said, 142,000 just for painting it. So
142.
100, yeah, that's what it was. 142 actually.
I heard 1,000.
I said 1,000.
Crazy.
No,
okay.
No, 142,000. That's what it was. Yeah, and so that's just
they repainting it with gold? Good lord.
No, right? And so it's literally just like putting something over where those rocks are to try to like keep them in, and even then you don't know if painting it is gonna prevent them from falling off, so like
Let's paint the shards of rock.
Yeah, that's literally
the paint should dull the sharp edges.
It's everywhere.
So now there's paint and glass in your wound.
Yeah, no, it was more expensive. I misspoke. It's way more than $1,000.
Okay.
Now with the old lady, you could afford a few lawsuits before you even need to pay for
their annual like the stuff they bank or whatever that they can the amount that they have for spending on stuff is $700,000. So that's like a pretty big chunk of like the HOA's spending would just be going towards just painting the pool. So they're like, no, we don't want to do that, because that includes all the spending they have for like everything in the neighborhood. So but overall the pool's been fine. It's easy ass job.
Just don't swim by that wall, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
When you get out of the pool, just don't touch any of the sides. Just jump out like a dolphin,
Like a dolphin.
We'll pick you up.
Uppies.
Well, like that family where they had the 5 and 7-year-old dismantling everything, they come like every day until that happened. So now they haven't been there, because I told the older one, I was like, hey, you guys may be like fined for damages, and then she grabbed their hands and literally ran out of the building, and they were like, you idiots. Yeah, I do have their information. I mean, I took a picture and was like, here they are. I sent it to the HOA. I did. I'll show you guys. No, I'll show you guys the pictures. I was like, I'm taking a picture of this so that we know it's you guys who did it. And they were like, no, the little kids, and I was like, no, we don't have. Yeah, they were like screaming. I was like,
clawing their face off.
We're like, God. I was like, we don't have cameras, so I can't prove it was you, and I gotta prove it was you
cameras?
guys.
Oh
no. So this is them running away from ripping the boards open. So I did take pictures of them.
Nice job, wow.
And they were like, no, we don't give you our permission, and I was like, well, we didn't give you permission to rip the boards off our building, so I will be. And I'm like, sorry.
What a bunch of dipshits.
Yeah, no, their sibling is the girl who was like,
Who was staying in the office with you all day?
Yeah, who would just like come out of the pool and run up and like hug me. She's like hugging me like soaking wet.
A kid would not get that close. I would fucking face palm and just shove him back in the pool.
It would be like I was talking to people up at the desk, and then she would come up from behind me and like hug me, and she's like my height. Like she's honestly probably a little taller
your
than
height?
me.
What a monster!
Yeah. I mean, she's like 13. I'm 5 foot. That's normal. But yeah, she was like lifting me.
You're not 6.5 feet tall.
I know, right?
Wait, when you're 13, you're not 13 inches tall. I thought it was like.
I thought that was how it worked. Every year you grow an inch. Yeah, no, she hugged me over and over.
Sorry.
And I
My dick
I'm trying
is
so nice to be.
Inches.
Congratulations.
When I flush the toilet, gets sucked in. I have to like. Sorry, I have to.
I imagine an elephant trunk just being like sucked in. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
No, she's the one who, when I was helping people check in, she was like, "Oh, I'll check you in," and I was like, "Oh, she doesn't work here. You don't have to give them like your personal information." And then she's like, I'll check it. What's their address? What's this?" And then she's like, "So I can just see everybody who lives in here, and I can see their ages." She's like, "What if a pedophile lived here or worked here? Wouldn't that be crazy? Like, you can just see where everyone lives." And then she's like, "All these kids swimming here, like, this would be such a good job for a pedophile." Like, as I'm checking in fucking families, mind you, and I'm like. And I'm like, that's why they do.
What if a pedophile worked here and was 5 foot tall and was a little girl and was a pedophile?
Yeah, and she's like, yeah, what if a pedophile worked here? This would be such a good job for them. And I was like, dude. Okay, well, that is why they do a background check actually for this job. So, and then she's like, "You could be a pedophile." Yeah, and she's like, "You could be a pedophile and never get caught."
Past the background check. Yeah,
exactly.
You could threaten them. You could threaten that if you tell them, you touch them even more.
Yeah, I was like, "Why is she saying
I didn't do this to her
in front of like 5-year-olds, right?" And she's the one who was like, "So you'd never date a minor, really?" And I was like.
You look like a minor dater.
Yeah, right. And right, that's like how she was like, "I thought you were like 14 at the most. I think you're lying. I think you're younger." And then she's like, what? "Yeah, right." And I was like, "What the heck?"
No, you're not that age.
Yeah, she was asking me like all this personal stuff, and then she's just like, "Oh, so you're straight?" And I was like, "No." And she's like,
you mentioned that. That it was so awkward for a 13-year-old to be asking about your sexuality.
Yeah, she's like, "Well, I'm bisexual." And she kept bringing it up, and I was like, "That's great. Go be bisexual somewhere else." And then she would like hug me like right after, and I'm just like, "Can you stop touching me?" And she was like on my computer, like hovering over me, over my shoulder, and I had stuff. I had stuff like from the podcast that was still pulled up because we had like just recorded the day before, and then so she's like, "What's that? What's that? What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's like for a podcast." And then she's like, "You idiot! Podcasts don't have your face in it. You're so stupid." And I was like, yeah. And then she's like, "Well, what's your podcast?" And then she asked me about it, so she may listen to this, and I don't have a problem bashing her right now because she needs to know that what she was doing was bad. So if she ever listens to this,
she doesn't know. 13 years old and she doesn't know the stuff she's doing right now is awful. Get a fucking social grip.
The thing is,
Good
I
Lord.
kept trying to be nice and saying, like, you need to leave the office, and she would just keep coming back and saying, "Sorry, I have ADHD," and then, like, hugging me and, like, grabbing stuff.
Stupid.
And then, like, yeah, she would, like, take stuff in the office that I needed and, like, move it, and then she's like, "Sorry, I have ADHD," and then would lose it, and then I'm like, "You can't be back here, there's, like, chemicals," and then she's like, "That's okay," and then, like, when people were actively bleeding out that one day,
she was touching them, wasn't she? She was touching bloody rags.
I'll grab the bandage. She's like, "I'll grab the bandages and wrap them up." And I was like, "Don't you know that, like, that's not good to, like, touch other people's wounds?" And she's like, "I like blood. I don't mind." She's like, "I actually like to, like, taste my own blood. I love blood."
She starts sucking the blood on the wet bandages and, Kool-Aid.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. She was like, "Yeah, I love blood. I could drink it." She's like, have you ever seen Twilight?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have." And then she's like, "Did you like Twilight?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, I was your age when it was at its like prime. I was actually super into it." And she's like, "Were you Team Jacob?" And I was like, "Yeah, unfortunately, a little embarrassing." And she's like, "Of course you would, because he's a fucking pedophile." You would be. And I was like, "Oh, what the hell is wrong with
Oh, so you're Team pedophile? This girl's team's pedophile.
Yeah, right? She's like, she likes pedophiles.
She gets the microphone.
Yeah, my megaphone. Everybody.
This girl self-esteem pedophile. 5 minutes left in the pedophile pool, everybody.
Pedophile alert.
Yeah. She had the megaphone. Like,
I am bisexual.
She okay, that day she actually did grab the megaphone, and I was like, can you not play with that? And she's like, what does the music one do? And I was like, I don't know, can you please stop playing with it? And she touched it, and the megaphone was like, and it was just like screeching, and everybody in the pool was like getting out, and I was like, and I just grabbed it and was like turning it off, and I was like, get out. And she's like, no, I'm sorry, I have ADHD. And I was like, dude, get out.
Everything on that.
Yeah, right. And I was like, get out. And then I was like working on my my resume, and she was like, oh, your GPA from high school was really bad. That's actually only a B+. That's really bad. And I was like,
bad.
oh, okay. And then she's like,
so terrible.
she's like, I got a D in my core English class, but that's because the teacher was really bad. But I also was supposed to fail, but they passed me because blah, blah, blah. And then she just starts going on like tangents, right? But later she's like, I want to be a neurosurgeon. I'm gonna be a neurosurgeon. I love blood. Like, I love touching blood. And I was like, oh, have they taught you?
If I had a surgeon and I woke up partway from the anesthesia and they were just playing around, I love touching your blood.
I love guts.
I'm touching your heart.
It'd be a really easy place for a pedophile to work in a hospital. They put you asleep and they can just touch you everywhere you want.
And you can do whatever you want. Yeah. And I was like, girl,
go back to
they
sleep.
Not taught you?
You wake up a week later. Sorry, I'm getting ADHD. I gave you too much anesthesia.
That's just the thing. She's like, have you? Like she's like okay. She was saying like all about the blood shit, right? And I was like, have they not taught you that blood transmits diseases and that's why you shouldn't touch it? And then she's like, oh really? And I was like, there's no way they haven't taught you that in school, girl. Are you serious? And like
she's just too smart to listen to her teacher.
Juliana, she's ADHD, so
I know. I felt bad for her because she was like talking. She brought me that Starbucks that one day, and it had like, she's like, I put extra sugar syrup in this and all this and this and extra this and extra and like it was so gross. I didn't want it.
You should have looked straight into her eyes and just dumped it.
This is disgusting.
No.
Don't care.
But yeah, like I told her I would have it later, so I put it in the fridge that was in there, and she was like, she was messing with stuff in the office, and so she opened up the fridge, and she's like, you didn't drink it. And I was like, oh, no!
You didn't drink it.
Yeah,
why'd you drink my Starbucks cup I got you?
I know.
Now.
Yeah, no, she was just sitting in there like ranting to me about
my
stuff.
Bisexual
She's like, oh, and she was like, my cat. She's like, my cat just died.
Gender fluid. Like you said that.
Yeah, you know that one reference to that one episode?
You know that one joke that Juliana made that's got 1 million jokes on TikTok?
She was like venting to me about her cat passing away, and she was like, he was really, really sick though. And I was like, oh,
I think
that's
the cat
horrible.
killed himself because of her.
And yeah, no, like she was like, he actually, like, they had.
I hope she's listening to this.
Oh my god!
I am not cutting this out.
Like the girl saying the cat had hypothyroidism, and I was like, oh, I have that actually. So imagine how sick your cat was. That's actually what I actually have that.
I'm actually die soon.
I'm actually better than your cat because I'm still living, and your cat's dead.
Lived.
So
I lived.
At least I survived through it.
Cat 0, me 1.
I'm putting all of this at the beginning since she's ADHD and won't make it this far into the episode.
Oh my gosh!
An annoying little girl that works at, or doesn't even work there.
Are you an annoying little shit stain that keeps?
She kept pretending like she was, though. I know, it was so weird when families were like coming in, and she's like, "Okay, let me see your ID," and I was like, "You don't have to show her that. You don't have to. No, no.
She doesn't even work here."
Yeah, and I'm like, why is she doing this? I know even the HOA people like came that day, and she was just like in the back office messing with stuff, and I'm like, are they not gonna say anything? Do they think that's just okay? Because I've already asked her to leave a couple times, but she was trying to show me like a video, and she's like, I have this really funny video from this like sleepaway camp I went to. She's like, oh, you were a church intern? Like, she was looking at my resume, and then she's like, oh yeah, because you like working with kids, right? And I'm like, can you stop with that? And she's like, so some boys here said that like you let them in because you're friends with them, and I'm like, no, I already talked about this on the podcast, how I said I didn't like these teen boppers saying I was friends with them.
72,
Yeah. I was like, I don't want these kids saying I'm friends with them. I was like, no, their paperwork was just processing, and I knew it would go through, so I wasn't making them go through all the hassles, and I was just letting them in. And then she's like, oh, but we're friends, right? And I'm like, I don't like saying that about any of the kids. And she's like, here, I need to show you this video from like my church camp thing. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, show me. And then she's like, here, I gotta pull it up on my Instagram. So she went on her Instagram, and because she's a child, it was like private. So she added herself on my Instagram, and I was like, okay, I'm unadding this the second she leaves. But she pulled up the video, and like you couldn't even tell what was happening in it, right? Whatever. And I was just like, oh, haha, funny, right? And then she's like, this is why I can't show you on my phone. And then her phone, like the screen is completely cracked, like just lines going through it everywhere. It's all green, like the screen is like all the pixels. You can't see anything. And then she's like, I have anger issues. And I was like, oh.
She's so quirky.
My siblings took their nails and dug beneath the glass with their fucking bare hands.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Dude, I was at the movie theater. I think I sent you guys a snap, but there was a girl who sat in front of me, and she was on her phone, and half of her phone was busted completely to the point where it's just, like you said, green, like dead pixels.
Yes.
And, like, the way she was operating, she would, like, zoom out and, like, move it over to the side.
That's how this girl was doing it.
Dude, get a new phone, please.
Yeah, it's like, you can't use it. Yeah, she said her parents were punishing her because she broke it. They were like, you have to keep it.
Good. All of her fingers are sliced.
Exactly, like, just cut open, cut everywhere.
That's where all the blood was coming from. Yeah, every time you swipe, it's just, they're just cutting
just on her phone.
Dude, yeah.
Just walking around everywhere, smushing the blood everywhere. I love sharing my blood with everybody.
Yeah, she does love her blood, man. Dude, she...
The old HOA is like, how do we know this isn't some girl on her phone spreading her blood everywhere?
Dude, that job is so easy and relaxing, except the days when she would come in the office like that. It was like, the way I was just talking and the speed she was talking, it was like 4 hours straight of her doing that. And the whole time it was just like, this is miserable. So... Like, I'm so overwhelmed by this right now because I'm also working, but it's like, my job is easy, but her just talking like that, I'm like, dude, this just triggers me to the point, it reminds me of this girl I did Girl Scout with, who was like, she'd bully me, and she talked exactly like this girl. Like, when I pulled up my screen on my laptop, it was a picture of me in high school because it was my older computer because it had my resumes and shit on it, and she was like, oh, that's you when you were a teenager. And I was like, yeah, that's when I actually was a teenager. Like, you think I look like now, right? And she's like, oh, well, you look exactly the same, except you have more skin damage now. And I'm like, oh, that's so
then I started ripping her skin off.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, you Gen Alphas really care a lot about skin and looks and skincare,
we
huh?
We just talked about this, but they're so nasty. Yeah.
Dude, it's so weird how obsessive they are with it.
Buying like skin creams at like the age of 8, dude. What are you doing?
She was literally judging my skin so much as somebody in their like mid-20s. She's like, wow, you look fucking old. But then she also says I look like a teenager at the same time. So I'm like, well, which is it? And then she's like, yeah,
sorry, I have ADHD.
At the freaking Cheesecake Factory, my brother was saying something to my mom. Like, he was asking her a question. She fully, like, blew him off. And so he's like, I guess I'll just finger my own asshole then. And then a 3-year-old, like, he was sitting right behind... he was sitting right behind John. And in that moment, the child gained consciousness and was like... breathe, and was staring at, like, John said that, and the kid was sitting, like, back to back with him, and he stared and was just staring at John, and I was like, John, and I tapped on his shoulder, and the 3-year-old in the high chair was like,
he's right behind me, isn't
he?
Yeah.
That's
finger in my own asshole.
That's exactly what happened. It was
what
like,
did you mean by that?
Yeah, the kid turned around, and the kid was, like, smiling like this, like, straight at John, like, he was, like, 3, like, I was like,
I heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, no way. And then I was like, John, and then the kid, John and the kid were just face to face, and John's like, hey bud. I was like, oh no.
You guys would laugh at me, but like now that I have like a spice rack because we cook dinner every night and stuff, I know. Well, I just, like, growing up, like, restaurants, we never went to restaurants because it was too expensive, but, like, you just, in my head as a kid, you're like, that's the pinnacle of what food can be. But now that, like, I'm making food and stuff, I'm like, well, this was a really amazing dish I had once when I was, like, 13. We'll look up the recipe for it, and, like you can make restaurant food that's better than a restaurant at home. So I'm like, why does anyone eat out? It's
honestly,
crazy.
It's really just it's buying the quality ingredients and the time it takes. Yeah. But anybody can make like better food than you can get at most of these places.
And it sounds stupid. I just didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
I thought there was
some... taste good. I didn't know we were allowed to eat good food.
This thing has seasoning?
What is graham masala? What the hell is this shit? Good stuff. Well,
I'm surprised you used that. That's pretty good that you know that, Dan.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm proud.
There's a really easy recipe I found for brown sugar salmon, and it's oh my gosh, it's so good. And yeah, it's
you can make a lot of curries with that. Curries are easy to make.
Well, and Riley made butter chicken a little bit ago. This was one that was too complicated. Like I she was like, I'm gonna make it for you because she knows what she's doing. You know, it has instructions like watch the onions sweat. I'm like, what? They what now?
Sweat.
Such easy instruction.
I know. It's a joke.
Like, I have to sit there? Oh,
watch
God.
the noodles steam.
Oh,
they're not
no.
What is this, a sauna? Gross.
I know when you're having your bread sandwich normally. That's what I'm used to you eating.
Oh, I should send you pictures of this
soup.
I haven't had like the normal stuff I eat in like months. I think we've made dinner every night.
Yep.
That's I haven't had a hard-boiled egg or peas in like months. It's crazy.
He's evolving.
Whoa. Who is this guy?
He found purpose in life.
You check back in a month, I'm like 300 pounds. I'm like, this is great. Life is great. Don't you think?
Deep fryer.
I'm so happy.
I discovered an air fryer this weekend. I don't even have to dip things in oil.
Just deep lard.
I'm just gonna say he would be using one with like oils and stuff.
This is my gallon of oil.
It's reversed the opposite direction. You're like, hold on, we've gone too far now. I just dip the uncooked salmon in lard.
I deep fry my salmon.
Yummy.
I fill my hand with salt and just
Have
dies
you seen
from a heart
people who
attack.
cook like salmon in the dishwasher?
Oh yeah,
I guess that's like an American thing. And I was like,
don't put that
excuse
on
me?
us, dude.
I know, right? I was like, excuse me? Doesn't it come out like soapy tasting? Like, what is it? Yeah, exactly. I was like,
I saw clearly like a rage bait TikTok, but it was like, you're not Mexican if you haven't tried dishwasher cabeza, and opens the dishwasher to a full like muscles and cheek like cow skull.
I've seen that.
It's true, you haven't.
It's true, I'm not Mexican. I guess I'm
I
not.
do it all the time. I don't even have a dishwasher. I go to my aunts.
See, that's the video that's been 5 months in the making. I've saved that to my favorites, and it's just got to be me running into your house, be like, "Where's your cabeza?" You're like, "Get out of my house."
Nick, I need you.
One of them, dude. It wasn't even like rage bait. It was a guy who was making salmon, but he made it with his iron.
Oh yeah.
He had like a piece of foil and he closed it and he plugs in the iron and he's just going over it.
I've seen those.
He takes a piece, he eats it. I think he burned his tongue and he just starts screaming and the video ends. It's one of my favorite videos.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one.
That's
great.
Like,
I sent it. It's like a few years old.
It's like,
it was like an
wait, is it a joke video or real?
Desperate Meals? No, it's like a Desperate Meal.
Okay.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but it wasn't that guy. It was literally like an old man had a big old chain on.
What?
It's so good.
Does no one have a toaster for their salmon? Everyone's got a minute.
I've seen
making fish in the toaster.
Like this just you guys finally visit and I'm like, ready for dinner? You see the toaster like touch your salmon. You're like, I gotta get the fuck. You call your mom.
My eyelashes are curling back from the smell.
I was gonna say it's simultaneously burnt and raw. Just
the both worlds.
The outside. Yeah, I didn't know you could like. I accidentally put.
Oh
I accidentally put chocolate chips in the microwave for like, I thought it was 30 seconds and I think it was 3 minutes. And so
you're like, they're not melting. Yeah, because you're supposed to do it for like 10 seconds and then mix, 10 seconds and mix, and you're like, I'll just do all the 30 seconds at once.
I'll just turn it into molten lava. So I put it under the sink because it's smoking and it wouldn't stop smoking. So what I found out is you had to collapse the inside of the chocolate chips because it had made a pocket that was on fire inside.
Oh my gosh. It's just like a demon.
It was like I made Mordor.
Yeah.
It's like a science project. Yeah.
Have you ever seen the Blurple Nurples from Chowder? How they're like,
yes, it's crazy.
Did it look like
we just saw this.
Yeah, is that how they looked? Like they were.
For some reason, Purple Nurple came up, and she was like, "You have to see the Chowder episode." So we logged on to Max.
I recommend watching every episode. That was like one of my favorite shows. So good. Daniel, watch that. It's like the humor in it is like peak to me right there.
It was
like,
funny. It was funny.
This is the best children's comedy. It's so stupid, but so good. It's like this the episode where it's like comedy gold, and then they're like, why don't people wear hats on their butts? We call them butt hats, and I'm like, that was like one of the first. Yeah, I was like, this is great. Gazpacho, that was his name.
I've only seen like 2 episodes of Chowder. I didn't have cable growing up, so I never saw that. Oh, and Flapjack. I remember Flapjack being
Flapjack was weird.
Well.
It was weird.
Everyone said Flapjack was a little weird, and when I asked them what they mean by that, they go,
"Scary."
You gotta watch it.
It was just weird. You just gotta watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it's scary. I did like this one episode that I thought was creative, where he was like in love with a girl, and he had like hearts all over him. You know, like every time she came around, like he got all these hearts, and the hearts it was actually like these parasites he contracted from the girl, and the hearts were just like draining his life force like throughout the course of the episode. And they're like, no, that's just how being in a relationship is. Yeah, and they're like, no, that's how being in a relationship is. And I thought that was actually funny.
I went to 2 Comic-Cons since the last time we
Two?
I mean,
oh wow.
Do you guys know who John Lovitz is?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I understand, like, Comic-Cons is not everyone's cup of tea. I understand sometimes celebrities just do it because they need extra cash. Fine. But if you don't want to be there, don't show up. It wasn't terrible, and I'm not going to, like, bash the guy. But we went to Days of the Dead, which is downstate in Indy, and John Lovitz was one of the guests. And so I'm like, all right, that's cool. I like him from, like, Saturday Night Live. I like to show the critic, so I'm like, okay, like, I'm down to meet the guy. So I go up to his booth, and there was, like, everyone... Okay, so every other guest there is, like, a big horror actor, and they all have these huge, big lines, and then you see little John Lovitz just sitting there miserable, and there is, like, maybe, like, 3 or 4 people at his table, and they're just kind of, like, not even talking to him. They're just kind of they're trying to figure out what, like, print they want to get signed. So I'm like, all right, well, let's see, like, let's go up and see what his rates are. And he has a little sign, and it says, like, if you want an autograph, it's $60. If you want a picture with him, it's $50. If you want to combo it, it's $100. I go up, and you can't talk to him directly first. You have to go to his little manager that's at the little table to pay and everything. Ooh. So she's like, what would you like? And she's like, oh, what print would you like? Or do you want a picture with him? And I was like, I'm okay. I just want an autograph. And she's like, okay. And I go... Could I take a Polaroid of him and then have him sign that instead of one of the pictures? And she's like, well, I'm going to have to charge you both an autograph and a picture price. And I'm like, well, I'm not taking a picture with him. I'm taking a picture of him. And she's like, let me see if that's okay with Mr. Lovitz. And I'm like, what? So she goes up to him.
He just starts writhing and screaming. So, she's like, that's not okay with him.
So John Lovitz, I don't know how old he is, but he's not that old. But I felt bad because they're talking to him like he's in a retirement home. Like, she goes up to him and she goes,
you know what a photo is?
Hey, John.
He's got the bell that Hector Salamanca has on Breaking Bad.
Yeah, the little bell. Salamanca. No, she goes up to him and she goes, hey, John, this gentleman wants to take a picture of you. Is that okay? Like, just yelling it at him. And he's like, yeah.
Like, he's 42?
No, he's not in his 40s. I think he's like in his 60s. But, like, still, like, he's not that old. But she's, like, yelling it at him. And so I go up to him, and I go, "Hello, Mr. Lovitz," and before he could say anything, he just starts blowing his nose, and so much snot is shooting out of his nose. Just
He's like, so "You want to pay for this?"
And so I was going to shake his hand, and I literally just put it back, because he blew his nose, and I'm like, I'm sorry if that came across as rude, but I didn't want to shake his little snotty hand.
It's a germy, my dude. So, COVID is like spiking right now as well. So you just don't want to get sick.
Everyone's getting it lately, yeah.
So I don't know if it was because he's sick or what, but I looked it up later just out of curiosity, and a lot of people say like he's not like the friendliest when you meet him. He's just kind of very quiet, very reserved. But I was like, I just told him I liked his work on Saturday Night Live and like The Critic, and he's like, thanks, just very not wanting to be there. And I was like, "Could I take a picture of you and then have you sign that?" And he just nods his head and he blows his nose.
I mean, he's a very funny dude.
Yeah, but he's like he was not funny there. so like,
my favorite color is purple.
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 So I take out my Polaroid and I go, "Okay, I'm gonna take a picture." Give him a countdown, and I go 3, 2, 1. For a second, he just gets really like full of energy and smiles, and then immediately after I take the picture, he goes right. So he's like just right back to like the serious again, and I'm like, dude. Oh my god. So I hand it over to him and I'm like, "Can you just autograph that?" And he signs it and he's just staring at it. And he's like, "What, do I gotta wait for it to develop?" And I'm like,
kinda.
No, he could just sign the bottom.
Sign it.
Oh, the bottom.
But he's just like looking at it, waiting for it. Like it's gonna go like that.
I thought he meant like he doesn't understand what Polaroid. He's like, "There's nothing there. It's white."
What a shitty picture.
No, you'll appear there. What is this, magic? You're like, no. I blows his nose on it. This'll help.
So immediately, he's like, "What, I gotta wait for it to develop?" And I go, no, you can just sign the bottom. And he just signs it. And I give him the Sharpie to sign it. I have it's so stupid. It's an industrial Sharpie that doesn't smear and it doesn't fade. Oh. Sorry, it's dumb. I don't want the autograph to fade over time. So I give him that. He signs it. And then he puts it in this pile of Sharpies and gives me my Polaroid back. And I go, "Oh, that's my Sharpie." And he's like, "Oh, sorry." And he tries to, he didn't know, but he gives me just one of his. He tries to give you a
random one?
Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh no, I have the industrial Sharpie." And the assistant starts laughing. She goes, "You hear that, John? He has industrial strength."
Aww.
And he's just like,
bullying you.
Holy
shit,
he just gives
it to me.
Roasted the fuck out of you.
This is horrible.
He comes back to Saturday Night Live, writes a whole week of skits about these dumbass people with markers.
Like, what some loser loves his markers.
What a bozo. Yeah, so he hands me a little marker, and I'm like, I just say, like, "It's nice to meet you," and he's like, he just nods his head. He just didn't want to be there.
Louise,
but also,
dude.
He's sick, so, like, I get it. Like, why not just cancel?
Yeah, if you're sick, man. He needed the money, I guess. I don't know. I didn't think he did.
Times are tough. But I went to another line. The main voice actor and I guess actor for Chucky was there, Brad Dourif.
Oh yeah, Brad Dourif, yeah.
Dude, I got there at 11. I didn't meet Brad until like after 3 p.m. It was like that late. Just standing in that line. I feel a little guilty. He's really sweet. He's like this nice little old man already. So I go up to him, and I give him my little picture and he signs it. And then I just got to tell him, like, dude, it's come full circle because when I was a kid, like, you were the voice of my nightmares. I used to be terrified of Chucky as a kid. I remember one time I went downstairs. This is so dumb. I don't know why I called my dad out, but like my dad was watching Chucky on like the Spanish like channel on TV, and like I was just terrified of anything scary movies when I was like, because you're a dumb kid, you don't understand anything. So like, oh, it's real life, whatever.
Yeah.
So I remember I went down.
Same.
I was playing
What's
upstairs.
Charles in Spanish? Is it still Chucky? Okay.
Charlie.
I was gonna say Charlie.
Chucky. So like, I went downstairs to grab water and I saw my dad watching Chucky, and I don't think he was even watching. I think he was doing paperwork and he just had the Spanish channel on, and I just started bawling my eyes out and I ran upstairs and I told on my dad. I could go to my mom and I'm like, he showed me something scary on TV, and my mom comes storming down. Why do you have that
showing
on?
me inappropriate
stuff. Oh, that poor guy.
Yeah, and my dad's like, I didn't even show. It was on the, just all upset that I did that. I don't know why I did that, but I was just traumatized. Anyway,
mommy, look what Daddy's showing
look
me.
Look what he did.
He held my eyelids back and made me watch.
Clockwork Orange style.
Chucky. So, so I told Brad, I'm like, oh, it's come full circle because, like, you're the voice of my nightmares, and he starts laughing, and he's like, well, it's nice to finally meet you. I got his autograph, and then I had my little Polaroid camera. Oh, I brought my Chucky doll, too. I just wanted a picture of him holding my Chucky doll. It's the one... Oh, you can't even see it. It's back there. So yeah, right there.
It's the one with glowing eyes.
The little void right there. So I gave him my Chucky doll. I pull out my Polaroid, and I take a picture of him. And after I take the picture... There's flash. It's a Polaroid. After I take the picture, he starts blinking his eyes, like, very, like, hard and, like, going like this. And, like, he's not stopping. He keeps doing that. And I'm like, oh... And, like, one of his assistants is like, oh, yeah, those have flash. I forgot about that. Sorry, Brad. And I'm like, oh sorry. Aww. And he's like going like this, and he's, like, looking at the ball. You blinded and he's like, it's too late now. And I'm like, oh, dude. And he's, like, laughing about it. And to save myself, I'm like, it's payback for scaring me as a kid. And he started laughing. And he starts laughing. And he's like, I guess I deserve it then. And we both, like, laughed, and I shook his hand. And that was it. Like, it ended well. Cried. But, like...
You, like, Men in Black'd him.
I know.
He just forgets. He's like, Chucky? Who's that? You're like, oh, no. So, why is that man blowing his nose so angrily?
John Lovitz comes back. So, like, he laughs. We share a little quick joke. We laugh, shook hands. I thanked him for coming to Indianapolis. And he goes, oh, it was nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. I walk away, and Nate was behind me. So Nate walks up to me, and he's like, dude, you're a dick for that. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, he had a picture on his table that said no flash photography.
Oh.
He was standing in front of the sign. You didn't even tell me, so I didn't see it, dude. Nate, how come you don't point it out, bud? How about that, dude? Jesus. So I flashed banged this poor guy.
Oh, he probably had, like, he thought he was back to Nam. Yeah. It's that army meme with the guy who
1,000-yard stare. Yeah. So I felt bad, but I mean, like, at least he was able to, like, laugh about it. I still feel kind of guilty.
I hope that's what you get for scaring me as a kid.
Podcast comments, huh? I don't have any transitions.
Okay.
We can quick zap through them. The fan mail piles up. We got to read some of them, or else they're going to start attacking me at my residence.
Good.
Oh, God.
This one says, I have a B story. So I was like 6 to 7, and we were at our cabin, and me and my dad were going up the creek to try and scare my sister and mom, and there was a big branch down across the creek. My dad's trying to remove it, but I got impatient, and I had to go around. But I stepped on the nest jacket hive and got stung like hundreds of times all down my legs, arms, and face, stomach, and back. So now I just don't like bees. Like, sometimes, even if it's just a bumblebee, I will freak out a bit. That's just full on trauma dumping in our podcast chat.
Way to bring down the mood. No, I'm kidding.
There's like a bunch of...
I'll put some bee buzzing sound effects in here. How about that for you?
I'm just trying to traumatize them. There's a bunch of wasps, like, outside my window, like, downstairs.
Oh my gosh,
they don't normally travel, like, together, right? When they're foraging and stuff. So I'm like, are they making a nest right under my eaves? Because we just got rid of, like, the wasp nest. Yeah, it's like, they've returned!
Dude,
God,
you can't catch a break.
No,
you really
can't get away from them.
The house is cursed.
I hate it.
Next one's from Missouri, actually. I feel like a schizophrenic and or an iPad kid after staring at someone who looks like Daniel in a cafe. Love the podcast. Stop forcing Julianna to join everybody. She needs a break, for real. It's probably in reference to the one where you were, like, asleep at the beginning, and we were like, please go sleep.
Dude, I felt so bad. I can't believe I fell asleep for like 10 minutes, like, with the headsets on and everything.
We just felt terrible.
I opened my eyes and was like, oh shit. What?
Oh my god.
I have not been sleeping well. I'll admit it. Aww. It's fine.
Sleep.
That's not okay. Please. Well,
no, who needs? I slept like 8 hours last night.
Holy shit! That's like double your normal, isn't it?
I know, right? I was like,
it's triple, dude.
Let me tell you, when you do get that much sleep, it makes such a difference. It's crazy.
You think a week has passed?
Yeah. It did.
It's only tomorrow? Holy shit!
What?
Spotify comments are now back up, thankfully, on Android and everything, so you can comment on our Spotify, leave some reviews, and we'll read them. Yeah, they were updated. Well, I guess maybe we were on a beta, but, like, they weren't available for everybody, apparently. So now it's available for everybody, but they, like, fully went offline, so we just didn't have comments for, like, 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, everyone hates us now. Cool.
Oh,
and then I was like, oh, there's actually a reason.
They don't inform you of that or anything? Just one day they're like, yeah, you lost all your fans.
Sorry.
No, I had to talk to... I had a conversation with their technical support because I thought there was something wrong with our channel, and technical support had to check. They were like, let me check on this, and they came back and they were like, actually, the whole thing's under construction for everybody. And I was like, oh, okay, well,
and they
thanks
didn't know?
for that. Apparently not.
Seems like a memo they kind of...
No one knows anything over at Spotify.
You think we should maybe tell the people that get the phone calls from all the angry customers that we've shut it off? Nah. Steve's got it. So starting with episode 73 comments, did someone fart at 1:10:50? I went a bit crazy trying to find exactly where it was because I was cooking breakfast and heard someone fart and I was just looking around only to realize it was this damn podcast. But who did it though?
Hello?
Who farted?
Which one are you farting?
Is that the name of this episode 74, Who Farted? I actually don't know.
Figure out who farted?
I have a foam. Just talking like factually, I've got like a foam chair, so it probably wasn't me because it probably just got absorbed by the cushion. If it was me, you probably wouldn't have heard it.
Could have been me. Yeah, I was like, could have been me.
He's
honestly,
got the silencer.
The silence.
You did just
like,
wake
impossible.
up. You're like, no,
You've
I'm
never
good.
heard me fart.
Like, Juliana, please get off the podcast. Like, no, I can do it.
I can make it. Yeah, honestly, could have been me. Was that the day like after I was really sick? Shitting? Yeah, exactly. I was like, could have been. I'll live up to it. Could have been me. For real.
Oh my gosh.
I was sick.
Shitting
The poop guy's gonna go crazy with this one.
He's gonna love this.
What type chef was that?
Which
Location? My bed.
Yeah, the floor. Yeah.
They keep popping up under random usernames. They're like, yeah, that guy on the app, it's me. Have a good day. I'm like, okay.
Multiple of them.
This person could literally dox me because they're like the only they're like the only
the power
person
they hold.
Yeah. They're like the only person that like follows me on that app. So I'm like, oh, okay. I guess they
how like this has been out for many episodes and no one else has been like, no, I'm not following around that.
I mean, I don't know how you would really find like maybe there's a way to search up the users, but I don't want to just I document where I'm going.
Where are the current shitters in Seattle, Washington?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, they tried to get you to use like a sticker to pin your location the other day. Like they immediately were like added. It was like it was like no.
It implies that you're still using it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. That's the thing. It was like if you add sticker, it's like $1.99 every time you poop.
Oh my gosh!
Every time you add the sticker to pin your location, and like when and it was like if you hit OK, it was like double click your button to approve purchase, and I was like, excuse me, and they just automatically do it, so you have to like exit out of it like 5 times, and I was like, wow, they're really trying to
scam from Russia.
Forced to pay for poop.
You have to pay $3 to put location where the poop is happening.
Yeah, in Europe, do they make you pay for public bathrooms? Is that a thing? And
that's a question for our audience.
Yeah.
Hey, Brits.
Comment for next time.
Yeah,
hey, Brits, do you have to pay to poop? You know?
Is that just to like tip the like, you know, the
give him
attendance? A quid.
Well, I've got to pay £3 to poop here. Shit. Okay, next one says, man, General scat money in his shit cannon. Okay, is this just crazy?
Scat money, poop money? Good transition.
Also, Daniel, don't call your friend an alien. That's very rude. Also, Skibbity Toilet is not real. Also, it was a canon event for Daniel to get a death threat. Also, Juliana shitting on her dog. Nice. Also, have you seen all those Trumpies wearing ear bandages? What the hell? Love the pod, BTW.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, oh my gosh, those ear bandages for that stuff. Oh my gosh, dude. Have you heard that worship song that they made for Trump? He may not be perfect. Yeah, but he's our chosen one. Yeah, like the whole like church, like, oh my God. You haven't heard this? Dude, it's
actually
been,
like,
it's
is
not
it real
like,
or is it like one of those AI like music?
It was real. They pulled it from a page. Oh my gosh, dude, it's crazy. Anyway,
Trump hymns.
Next one says Serana Bearloom here. All I gotta say is fuck Francis Dews. Dan, my man, my DM will shit herself if I clip you playing that. Oh, okay. Have fun.
Excuse me.
Is this a bunch of nerd shit? What the hell?
Yeah, right. I was like, what's the context? I need to know the context.
Is this Skyloom? Sorry, Skyrim.
Skyrim?
Skyloom, my favorite game.
Is this Skypeg, whatever it's called?
Skyloom seems like it could be a video game franchise.
Honestly. Next one says,
like online one.
Yeah.
Wizards 101.
Yeah, exactly.
Made Lord Daniel of Piss Pod drink the warmest of titty milk. Oh my gosh. Dude, the only threads of mine that go like semi-viral now are the ones where people are making Homelander edits of me. Have you seen these?
I like those.
You're part of the reason they've gone viral.
Yeah,
500 likes on a picture of me. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so
me.
funny.
I made them. I recently had to inform my friend the news that the fetish for pregnant women is like a pretty common thing. She didn't think it was, because there was a scenario that was brought up, and we know like multiple people who either have drank breast milk from people they've hooked up with or want to, and she's like,
"Oh, that's part of the fetish, is the breast milk thing."
Part of it.
That's crazy. Holy shit!
And then it's like, why are so many people into this? And I was like, unfortunately, I have.
Where do they get this milk? Just for asking.
And it immediately made me think of you.
They get it from? Just
great.
So I never visit the place.
Yeah. Sorry. But I was like,
I looked up the episode where it started.
They
I
have
think it
consumed the nectar. They have indulged.
I'm not saying shit about milk anymore. All you fuckers clipping stuff. Can't wait to see this in a home letter edit next week. There's a bunch of Vine slams.
Dude, unfortunately, it's a common thing. And then, like, literally the next day, I saw a video where they were talking about pregnant women, like, why throughout history they always, like, gave birth standing or, like, squatting or using these, like, stools that would aid with pregnancy. But then it's like, why do modern women lay down? And it's like, oh, that is because men said it would be easier for the doctor, not because it's better for women or like make the complications, like it doesn't reduce complications or anything. But no, there was this French barber, because at the time, if you wanted any cutting done, it was done by a barber. If you were getting like if you were
getting a haircut, the guy's like, hold on.
If you needed a cease,
you need any surgery while you're here.
Speaking of Flapjack, the barber doctor. Dr. Barber, whatever the guy's name was, right? It was the surgeon. He was always like, surgery. That guy's super creepy character. Yeah, he was so creepy. That show was weird, Daniel. But apparently, that was the origin of that character, is that a lot of like people who did like C-sections and stuff, they were just barbers. And then they were like, I also need you to cut this woman open as well. But yeah, apparently there was this French...
It's just like hair, but thicker, am I right? Snip, snip. What?
Apparently the king of France at the time had the pregnant woman fetish, and he liked sitting in on these pregnancies, and he preferred them laying down so that he could see everything better. And that is why women lay down now. I guess the practice was adopted all throughout France. Fetish. Well, yeah, I mean, he was the king, so he kind of, he made the decree that he was like, hey, women gotta lay down for pregnancy now so I can get a better show.
I gotta be there. What?
Yeah, really. And then they have the authority to do it because they can get away with whatever they want. But that's the lore. And I know, right? And I was like, man, the pregnancy fetish continues. It really is, it's everything so much more prevalent. Yeah, those pervs. Yeah. Yeah, pregnancy
I love
fetish.
looking at them say the birth of the child.
Yeah, it's more prevalent than you would ever imagine. And I'm like, is it just like
crazy
the fertility? Are people just really drawn to like, is it just a natural instinct? Because like, I don't personally find it sexy, but it's like I guess a lot of people do, and it's like maybe it's just an instinct to like protect them or something.
Rewind real
why
quick.
Horny?
Did you say that you know multiple people that?
Yeah.
Wait. I thought you've met multiple people that like wondered about it. You're saying you've met people that actually have it.
That have partaken. Yes, they have partaken in the nectar. That was what I.
Is one of them in this call?
Okay.
You wish. No, it's like
Please,
people.
I'm so thirsty.
Crestless.com.
This cannot be my legacy on this podcast, this breast milk. I just gotta say this right now. This cannot
be happening.
You just gained consciousness.
It's too
The
late.
hours I've spent editing this podcast, this cannot be what makes it famous. Please. I've spent so much time on many other jokes. Oh my gosh, dude.
Many stupid things we said.
Oh my gosh,
No, yeah,
dude.
I guess, apparently, if you're on, like, the dating sites and somebody you're looking to hook up with,
There's an option.
if you're looking to hook up with somebody who has recently had a child, I guess people love sucking on titties.
Are you thirsty?
And
Yes.
they can lactate, and they will squirt you with their milk.
Dude.
Sounds like a threat.
And let me tell you, people I know are like so
the
jealous
second
of
kind
these
of
people.
squirting.
Yeah, so many people are like so jealous. They're like, "Where can I find this? How did you get so
creamy
lucky? How'd you find one?" Yeah, they're like, "Where is it? Where are the recently new mothers? Where are they? I need breast milk now." And I'm like,
That seems like this is
They
something
do,
we're going to
they
see
do.
on. This is something we'll see on articles in a few years. Like they put out articles on what's the stuff that you can go get money for? That's not blood. What else is it that you can get? Like plasma. Like when you look up like easy ways to get money now, like plasma always comes up. In like 3 years, we're going to see like if you're pregnant, you've been pregnant recently.
People do that.
People donate. Yeah, people who over like produce milk, like the over lactating whatever, they will just like fill up a bunch of it and they'll donate it to like
That's
mothers
cool.
who
To,
can't
like, mothers, I hope.
Yeah,
right? Please tell me it's mothers.
You would hope,
This
but
is
I guess
for my wife.
yeah, I mean, if they're selling it, then like technically, how do you?
Bill,
really
your wife
prove that
died.
Yeah, how do you prove that it's really going to a baby? But a lot of bodybuilders will look on like basically like black market like website because the protein is so high and it's got like all these other vitamins in it that are like essential. Bodybuilders
Daniel,
What happened to drinking raw eggs? Just stop. I didn't make any sort of facial expression even close to that. That was a disgust facial sound effect.
High in protein, huh?
High in protein, huh?
As high as P is? Higher. Oh.
Higher?
Where's my clipboard?
And more, it's full of all kinds of nutrients. It's super good for you, but disturbing that you would be getting it from strangers.
I just think that's disturbing that you're stealing it from.
Facebook
There's a crisis in America,
Yeah,
isn't
I've
there?
seen it
Where
on
not enough
Facebook
babies are getting this
Marketplace,
stuff?
Yeah,
Wait,
there
what?
is.
You're literally stealing that out of the mouth of kids who need it. That's crazy. That is a
Stealing
crazy
from the
fetish
mouths
where you
of
just fucking
babies.
hate babies. That's wild.
Hey, they didn't say they like the babies. They like the producer.
True. Hey, I didn't say the baby gotta live. Just make your boobs bigger.
Just make them boobs big and juicy. I need it.
Oh my gosh, that's disgusting. Good lord.
Never beating the allegations.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
boy, I swear to God,
Dude,
this
that's
cannot
so
be.
gross.
Dude, because here's what's
Facebook
happening.
Marketplace, you said.
I'm starting to see step one of like the Germa treatment, where it's like my face in like memes where the contrast is changed are popping up in random places by people who do not follow me, and people who do follow me are screenshotting them and sending
you
them
just
to
see,
me.
like your face just becomes associated with like a weirdo. I
Right,
remember for
I'm
the
just
longest
worried
time.
about that. Shh, Anna.
I remember people seeing like Germa memes but not knowing who he was, and so I was like, man, that's crazy how that does spread like that. It's real.
Next comment. Oh no, Daniel, I'm gonna slip it. Okay, no, I'm not gonna read that one. Okay. It says, Daniel, I'm gonna slip it in tonight, and you're gonna like it. Okay.
Okay. I thought they were gonna slip like a roofie. Was where I thought it was going. I was like,
I wish.
No,
there's something else they're slipping in. Next one says, love the videos. I binged every Jedi retirement home video for you, Daniel. I'll soon eat walkie slush. Okay.
This person's so dedicated.
Jude, literally. Next one, Rat Fife is getting another Netflix special, BTW. I think we're going to need a comically large and cartoonish mousetrap. That's really funny, actually. You see that meme that my brother sent me that I put on my story where it like crossed out so many words on the article, but it was like Matt Rife, or it's something about finds 2 people in the front row, and here's the difficult part. Say, well, trouble in paradise, huh?
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb.
Big crowd works so much sometimes. Anyone recently married? Yeah? How's the sex? Bad? And it's like, dude, what is this? Why am I watching this?
So
I bet it's bad, huh?
Bet you regret marrying her. Oh, and everyone like starts clapping and standing. I'm like, dude, what is this?
Yeah, the crowd of women. You're so hot, you're right. We would never get married. We'd only sleep with you.
What a guy.
Take me.
What? I swear that's how his fans are sometimes, though. God.
Dude, at like his peak, I felt...
And then he turned him around and called them all fat pieces of shit. Crazy. What the fuck?
It was wild that he did like... I mean, he cashed out for sure, but like, I get it. But when his first tour came out, he was doing like meet and greets. And I think they were like in the hundreds now. Aren't they kind of out there?
Jeez Louise. Oh my gosh,
dude.
Dude.
if you got an audience willing, I guess. Wow, but...
I've never seen a comedian do like meet and greets like that, though.
Me neither.
Like usually it's just like, oh, you meet him after a show, but... Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, not like meet and greets. It's like they just meet people casually.
Yeah. Casually at the club afterwards.
Yeah.
There's no greet, there's a meet. Next one says...
his meet.
Next one says, senior year has started for me, and my state just passed a bill that phones can't be used in classes, and my first thought was, how do I listen to this podcast in class? Turns out our school computers don't have Spotify blocked, so we're all good. Oh, that's good.
Oh.
Wait, they can't use phones at school?
Phones in school, apparently in that state, whatever
so, like,
state
do
that
they
is, that's
confiscate
wild.
them at the beginning of the day? Because, like, how are you going to enforce that?
Yeah, how do you enforce that? Especially now when, like, emergency services and, like, diabetes and stuff, like, a lot of phone reporting health apps that you would use that don't relate to the internet at all. Why wouldn't you just turn off the internet? That's crazy.
Yeah, or, like, a fucking school shooter comes in and kids want to contact...
Oh, good point, yeah.
...their parents or something.
You know what? I thought this bill passed because people were filming teachers losing their shit, and they got pissed off. They had to fire and have lawsuits, so I think they said no more fucking phones. Ugh. That's dark. Anyway... all these kids have iPads anyway, so they're just going to be bigger on a bigger screen.
The big iPad. You're right. A lot of kids do use that as like their laptop instead. Huh?
Well, especially schools that don't have money for like to give students laptops, and like they can kind of like have like laptop programs on like iPads and stuff. I don't know. This just feels like a really like boomer thing to do when there's a whole lot of other reasons people use phones in classrooms.
Yeah, I mean, I just recently found out because I was helping my friend put her classroom together, and I was like, they still make the kids use, like, these really chunky, like, old, falling apart headphones that have been around for, like, forever, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, they make them use that when they all use their own laptops? Can't they just use their own personal earbuds? Wouldn't that be easier? And it's like, oh, no, it's too easy to cheat because of, like, Bluetooth. You can connect to other stuff. So I was like, that's why. That's why. So instead, you have to use, like, the lice-filled ones that everybody shares.
Yeah,
so?
Good point. I never thought about lice. Next one says...
elementary school, man. That shit takes over the whole classroom. Did you ever, like, when they did the little thing with the straw and checked your hair? I used to love that. I used to love when they came in.
I don't know what this
scalp?
is.
What?
Yeah.
Did you like it when they put the vacuum to your scalp?
The janitor?
I gotta get the lice, kid. I love when he pokes through my hair.
No, it was so satisfying.
I love almonds in my drink.
Like, I swear, quarterly or something, the nurse would come in and they would have like,
you?
Yeah, only me. She seems dirty.
Dirty. Don't turn your hand like that.
My lice check.
Gross. I hated that. Ugh.
Yeah, they would use like those little like coffee straw type things, and they would come and they would just inspect everyone's scalp. Yeah.
Dude, full on pedophile sucking your scalp with a Starbucks straw. No.
They didn't do that for you guys? Was that just where I live? That's crazy. I thought that was like a common...
Jungle.
The mighty jungle?
Have an ape come in and go like...
Yeah, they're eating. Grooming grooming us. You guys didn't get groomed by your
You guys didn't have the school ape?
Y'all don't remember no Bobo? You didn't have one of them? No?
You didn't have Bingo the ape? You guys didn't have one of these?
Yeah, that's the guy! That's the guy!
That's it! Until Bingo ripped the scalp off Tommy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude, R.I.P. Tommy.
Oh.
You guys seen Nope? Oh.
I have not.
We watched Nope together,
I watched it with you, Daniel. Yeah. The dead chip in that movie. Yeah, they never let us, like, we were not allowed to wear hats, and then I remember, like, right at the very end of my senior year, they were like, we're gonna start allowing hats, and I was like, this is the best, I can just have greasy hair for part of the week. Woohoo! I thought that was the best thing, because I love wearing, like, beanies and stuff, too, so I was like,
I always thought they didn't have hats in school because it was like a respect thing. I didn't know it was a lice thing.
A lice. Well, I'm not sure it was for lice, but yeah, like, it was...
Well, that's what I
think, too.
You take your hat off when you do the Pledge of Allegiance and all that.
Oh, yeah, they didn't make us do that at school.
You didn't have to do Pledge of Allegiance?
No, they didn't make us.
Isn't the Pledge of Allegiance a little creepy?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I never thought of that when I was like a kid.
They made us
a bunch
do
of
it
kids monotone going, I pledge allegiance to the United States of America. Yeah. What the flag, dude?
Hello?
Yeah, they made us do it in elementary school, and then after that, they were like, no. They still would say it over intercom thingy every day, but nobody did it, so...
Oh, in our insanely religious town, if some kids would not say under God in the Pledge of Allegiance, they just would not say that part, and they'd get fucking in trouble.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's nice.
We love separation of church and state. Anyway.
Speaking of, at the drive...
Oh, no.
The drive-in that I went to, like a couple
They made
weeks
you
ago,
do the Pledge of Allegiance?
They played Star Spangled Banner?
No, it was or maybe, I don't know what they did. Some American shit. And I'm like...
Some America song.
And all like the old guys, like, the little boomers, they're like, oh, they take off their hat. And they're,
wait, before
like,
the movie? They just start, like, the national anthem?
Yeah! And, like, this old guy, he, like, yelled at his son, he's like, take off your hat! Have some respect! Like, a couple rows down. And
Yeah.
Dude, you're gonna go see Minions in, like, a Twister movie. Like,
What?
Well, before we see Minions, we gotta submit our allegiance.
Like,
that was something I hated about working at the Mariners game, was because anytime the pledge started, you, as an employee, you had to, like, completely stop what you were doing and do it, and they made you, like, just stand there. You didn't have to, like, put your hand over you just
kick open the stall doors. You're shitting.
Yeah,
you better put that fucking hand up right now. I'm
mid-wipe.
Put it up there. Toilet paper rolling down your head. There's shit on my forehead.
They will know. They'll know. That's just the thing. It was like we had like supervisors, so like they would be like, "Stop what you're doing right now," and you had to just stop there and stand still and wait for it to continue. But you were in the middle of engaging with fans and doing customer service, so they would.
Pooping. Half a log's coming out, and they're like,
Stand right now.
Clench that asshole sphincter right now.
Cut it short, buddy.
What would your founding fathers think of you?
George Washington would be so disappointed.
Your supervisors are yelling at the quadriplegic who's just sitting there. Put that fucking hand up.
Oh my gosh, as messed up as that is, we had so many disabled employees who worked for us too. So it was so hard to get them to understand that you had to just like be silent and yeah, it was so bad because it was like you were in the middle of talking to fans, like actually checking people into the stadium, and then you had to sit there and then you had to just be silent. Yeah, and then they're like, excuse me, and they're like tugging on your shirt, and you're like, you're
like a British guard for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was basically like that. Yeah, dude, it was like that. And the supervisors, if you did continue like helping fans, they'd be like, wallets. Hey, next time. Yeah, they start robbing us. Yeah.
Yes.
Our supervisors are like, don't fight it, let him have it.
Through your eyes tearing up, you're watching him run out the park with all your life savings.
No.
The cash register.
That's how
he's just staring at you while he's doing it too.
Yeah, so during that time, it was like we would be giving giveaways, and people would just be stealing. And we just had to stand there, and they'd just be stealing right in front of us.
What?
That happened.
So you're not joking?
All the time. All the time.
What?
And people who would supervise us are like, don't do anything, don't, because you'd be like, oh, please wait,
What?
just wait 1 minute, and people are like, they're taking them, and we can't stop them. We can't.
Dog, that's insane.
They're taking like 30 bobbleheads. Like,
I would do that, but that's crazy.
But yeah, we had to just stand there. Yeah,
I still do that.
I do it. Yeah.
Oh my god! I literally went to the Cardinals game that one time where they had free buffet and shoved hot dogs in my pockets. I would totally do this.
Same, dude.
I was hungry.
I do that with wieners.
I was hungry.
Well, eat at the thing.
I did eat it at the thing. I was just saving more food for later.
I know I will be hungry again.
Dude, the other day
That's
we went out.
Pocket Dog will come into handy. I'm still thinking of scenarios about this game. Can you imagine an active shooter situation? Everyone's running, and then they're like, "Hold on, you have to stop and do this." The shooter's just walking right up to you and shoving the gun in your mouth. You're like,
"Oh my god!" I know our boss is like, "Don't move, don't move, don't move." I went to the Mariners game that night too, right after. Yeah,
that's
I was like,
bold of you.
Yeah,
very bold.
I was having the stomach issues, and John's like, "Are you gonna be good?"
Win.
Yeah, he's like, "Are you gonna be good? Are you gonna make it?" And I was like, "I'm gonna make it." Yeah,
I didn't shit on my dog for nothing.
Yeah. I went at Oasis. I was like, "Y'all have a bathroom," and then it was locked, and I was like, no, and then I waited for the guy to get out of there. The second he opened the door, I was like, move, and I like ran in there.
Your fingers were through the door and it was open.
Prying it open. I need it there. Yeah,
you're pulling the wood paneling off the door like the kids at the pool.
Dude, and then I made it. I made it through that whole game. There were like those 3 crazy little kids sitting in front of me the whole time who were staring at me the whole game. I sent you guys a picture, right? The whole game they were turned around like staring, and I was like, "There's a whole baseball game on the other side, you know. You don't gotta just stare."
It's bad skin.
Yeah. Ew. What moisturizer do you use? I bet you don't use retinol.
That was such a good callback. That was such a good callback.
They were like 3, 4, and 5. Like, yeah, they were little. They were little. Dude, the whole time they were bouncing up and down and like lifting themselves up on their chairs and like doing like parkour type stuff.
And you're like,
and like, yeah, the kids, they each of them ate ice cream. They all ate pretzels. They all ate giant things of nachos. They all ate hot dogs. Like, the amount they ate had to be close to like 3,000 calories. And I was like, they're just like 4, they're like 3, 4, 5. Like, that was their age. And I was like, how are they just putting it away? I've never seen kids eat like that. But then they were like
actively
jumping.
Shitting.
Yeah, they were jumping like the whole game, like vibrating the whole game. And I was like, John, you think if I did micro movements like that all the time, how many calories do you think I'd burn? I think I'd burn a lot of calories. And he's like, you just need to be constantly stimming like that? And I'm like, yeah.
The entire game we were like,
yeah, and I'm like, yeah.
kicking the seats.
That was what the kids were doing. Yeah, that was what they were doing. I was like, John, if I did that all the time, you think I'd be in shape, huh?
You're just like, toned and muscular from fucking fidgeting like a freak the whole time.
Yeah, from fidgeting. You know what? In that moment, I was contemplating it. I was like, I think they've got the strat down. Those kids know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
That video. I don't know if you guys saw it on. Well, I think it's only been on Twitter. There's a video of a super obese dude.
Oh.
It's one of the worst videos I've ever
That's
seen.
it. That's the joke.
It's like a super obese dude, and he's sitting in it's clearly it's a baseball stadium or like a football stadium.
Have you told us this? Yeah, continue. I'm interested.
Maybe. He's just puking up hot dogs.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there, and people are like, leave, get out of the seat, and he just keeps puking. He's just covering his mouth, but you see it just spewing. It's one of the worst videos I've ever seen in my life. And they're like, leave, go, get away.
Get out. Get out.
And he's just sitting there, and there's like...
That's terrible.
No.
It's so funny, but dude...
I don't know how you can just let yourself get like why are you
get up and go? Why are you just
puking?
sitting there? And he's like,
I would be so scared of cameras, and people filming me that.
People
yeah,
are
just
filming
leave.
him, and they're all yelling like, leave. Imagine sitting next to that guy.
Oh,
you're stuck.
Oh, no, my brother's friend, like, as they were landing on a plane to, I think they were going to Florida, the guy behind him, he threw up and was like spewing, and it got all over my brother's friend, and like it was just all over him. So like luckily he didn't have to sit in it too long, but you know when you're like landing, it takes like half an hour, and you're just sitting there. Yeah, and he was sitting in puke, and like they turn around and they like glare at the guy, and they're like, did you seriously just puke on us? And the guy like was sitting there and staring straight ahead, not making eye contact. And it's like,
demons?
yeah, and it's like, are you pretending like you didn't just throw up on me? They didn't even apologize. The guy just, how do you throw up?
Well, of course not, because he's going to throw
someone?
up if he opens his mouth. I'm sorry.
How do you just let yourself get like that? You don't even attempt to go to the bathroom? Like,
That's
what
I'm saying, dude.
There's no attempt made. You just open your mouth and you just actively... Oh my gosh, projectile vomiting onto somebody in front of you, and then you're like, doo-doo-doo, that's what happened. Wasn't me. Wasn't me.
Video. I'm sorry, we keep talking about puke, but there's another video of a guy who went to like a...
Continue.
There was like a brunch restaurant, and he had like endless mimosas, and he's like...
Amen.
Everyone's like leaving, and he pukes, and like all like the ladies in front of him, they like turn around and they start like hurrying up, and he pukes so much that he falls. It's just like, dude, like...
No!
You mean like he lost...
He's
like,
walking out, he pukes... And he's stumbling because he's drunk. And then
stumbles on it. Ew. I thought you meant the force of the vomit, like, pushed him backwards. like a Muppet with arms flinging.
Oh my god. I really like that video where it's like Mom's Weekend or whatever, and it's like a mom visiting college. And she's like, oh, is she about to puke? And she starts throwing up and she starts running, but then she likes a trail of vomit and she slides in it and like hits her head so hard and continues barfing all over herself. It's so bad. It's so bad, but I laughed so hard. And the caption's just like Mom's Weekend, like Snapchat, like.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, that's terrible. In the chat so Daniel can see.
Oh my god, I've sent that video. I think I sent it to you. It was like, I feel so bad, but I laughed at this for like 5 minutes. I feel like I've seen it
before, but yeah, I don't remember her still throwing up after the fall.
It's so funny. My gosh. Those same guys, so that same kid who got thrown up on the plane, I was in Vancouver with them, with John and his friends, and we were leaving like this Seahawks event thing, and there were free drinks there, and there was a dude who was like stumbling, like he was making like a weird like adjacent line right towards us, and I was like, guys, and they were like not looking, and I was like, move, and they were like, what? And then he projectile vomits right where they were standing, right exactly where they were standing. So that kid almost got puked on again, and it was like he must have had like sangria, because it was just pure red, and it was just so much. It was like a gallon of liquid spewing out of this man right next to us, and I was like, guys, dive, look out, oh my god, and he's just like, but we didn't get hit. I think one of the kids got some splatter on their shoe, but yeah, not getting fully vomited upon is much better.
I just remember that bird shitting its guts out next to me in Seattle Metro.
Everybody's staring.
Like, hey, like I did it. I'm like, I didn't kill that bird.
I know. So much poop came out and everybody just looked right at Daniel because it was like inches from him.
What did you do?
Well, because it was like this massive, like clear, like disgusting mucus-looking gloop. And they're just like looking from it to me. And I'm like,
yeah.
I didn't kill the bird.
They're like, can you imagine if that hit you? I wish it did. That's how they were looking.
I thought you were just telling me that. I was like, oh.
No, not me. No, they were looking like they just missed a very humorous opportunity.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that would have been. Oh, that would have been. I would have probably had a traumatic experience. You know how trauma doesn't take much with me. That would have been the weed trip of that year.
We were in the middle. Yeah, we were in the middle of Seattle, and we were about to take the train back. So he would have just had to sit in it. That would have been...
Daniel sitting in pigeon cum. What a great day.
Wonderful.
Anyway, it's most apt we read this comment next. This is my first episode of the podcast, and it took every fiber of my being not to burst out loud laughing in the gym. Now you're going to burst out loud throwing up. It took every part of my being not to blow up this gym. What?
What are they doing?
What are you doing in this gym? It took everything not to blow my load in this gym.
I guess that's a common thing people do before working out. Did you not know that? That
makes you more tired, though, doesn't it?
That they say that's I guess it makes the workout more like.
Daniel's like, every time I jack off in the gym.
I always jack off after the gym.
That's why they say. That's why they say in the men's sauna you should always wear shoes.
Oh, you know what? That's right.
Because I just
saw an Always Sunny episode where the guy comes into the sauna. He's like, "I'm the guy that wipes up the loads."
Yeah. I guess it's a really common thing. Men will like. I guess it gives them like a adrenaline rush, and so it makes you
sauna?
Coming. Well, no, my heart rate drops.
Well, like coming, and then they go and they work out right after, and it's better for like an explosive workout, whatever you want to say.
Oh my god! Oh, are you advertising it or what the fuck?
Well, I don't do it, but I guess a lot of men do.
Try this for an explosive workout.
Yeah.
This guy's listening like these guys are fucking freaks. This is my second episode.
I'm never listening to this at the gym again.
No, I am gonna blow up the gym.
You know what?
Blow a load.
Exactly. It's time. That gives me an idea.
Oh no. Next one says, "Hi Daniel, I'm the person that drew the creepypasta of you. I feel honored to have my favorite podcasters see my work. I'm gonna draw you as Homelander now. I can't subscribe to the Patreon because I live in Argentina and our money is basically worthless. But I'd love to make more art for you if you have any requests." Here's my request. Don't do the Homelander one. Do anything else.
The creepypasta one.
It's really good.
Dude, the creepypasta one actually terrified me.
It's really good.
I've never been so horrified looking at my own face. That was pretty fucking horrific. I gotta be honest. Oh my god.
I mean,
I'm sweating thinking about it.
The resemblance is uncanny, but it's also uncanny valley. So it's good. I'm impressed.
I love feeling ugly. Anyway,
it's not you!
But it is now. It's all I can see.
Every time I look in the mirror, I'm so scared.
Him. Whatever the fucking... It's so freaky.
Face.
It's so freaky. You know what? If that's what I leave the internet, is that I just become the next, like, who the fuck is that guy? Legacy? That's terrifying. Whatever, fuck it.
You become an actual creepypasta, like...
If this is how I become an actor, please. The next one says, "My first day of semester is tomorrow, and you guys have really helped put a smile on my face through these rough times. I found this podcast a year and a half ago, and it's inspired me through some really hard times. Love you all, 11 out of 10.
Aw, thank you.
That's so nice.
I'm glad we can help you through the rough stuff.
Yeah, everybody's going through school now again. I feel terrible because...
Oh, school.
Yeah. Next one says, "Daniel, if you're being compared to Dennis from Always Sunny, who I see being compared to Homelander all the time, and you're also being compared with Homelander, then you should take a hint. Also, do you want me to edit you as Negan or some other sick, insane villain as well? I'll even do Omni-Man." I did dress up as Negan for Halloween. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I should kill myself.
Oh my, that is not what I was implying.
Next one says, "Every time I hear a terrible Seattle story from Julianna, I realize we're all in this horrible place together." Oh.
We're all in this together.
The next one says, "Yep, Daniel loves his breast milk." All right.
We can confirm.
Amen.
Next one says, "Strip the flesh, salt the wound. I have the shiniest meat bicycle. I am the conductor of the poop train."
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's
so unhinged.
Totally. Yeah.
What? Oh. That was horrifying to hear.
Fan mail, all right.
I love our fan mail. "I love hearing the rambles of these three madmen," says the next one. Next one says, "Yes, Daniel, what will it take for us to get you a voice acting role in Smiling Friends? Anyway, I've been obsessing about Mortal Kombat recently, and now I will be drawing the podcast as MK characters." Oh, that's cool.
Mortal Kombat characters. Mortal Kombat! Cool. Dun, dun, dun.
I used to have the Mortal Kombat theme on my Nintendo DSi.
That's cool.
Like loud music.
It's the best game at the... They have a few Mortal Kombat machines at the arcade over here. Like they
used to have one at our Pizza Hut, and then they closed their Pizza Hut like a couple weeks ago.
Dude, I miss the dine-in Pizza Huts. Oh man,
ours closed down.
Nostalgia over.
Next one says, "Thank you, Julianna, for the nickname Rabbit Hunter. When I left my Apple review, which was read on the one where Julianna returns, I got called a poor-ass bitch. And Pequeno, Julianna told a rabbit murder story, so it wasn't out of the blue. Also, I know the rodeo announcer from Twisters. His name is Sean Mayer. He announces our hometown rodeos. Whoa, that's so cool. Thank you all for your recorded presence. Wow, that's so cool. Ooh. So if you're the third tier on our patrons, we will read your notes of whatever you would like. So starting with Dawn, all our lovely patrons. Here's a quote from my note. I hope it's not too foul for the podcast. Uh-oh.
Chicken?
Slurs.
Chicken. In the void, you're either food or Eliath, or you work for her, and I'll tell you who her is. Cassandra Nova, a megalomaniacal psychotic asshole, a finger-licking, dead-inside pixie slab of a third-rate dime store nut milk. And I'll tell you what she can do. She can lick my goddamn cinnamon ring clean and kick rocks all the way to bald hell. In fact, I don't give a fuck if she removes all my skin and pops at me like some nightmarish blood balloon. If the last thing I do on this godforsaken cum gutter existence is light that fuck box on fire, I still won't be happy. That's right, Nick. I won't be happy until I've urinated on her freshly barbecued corpse and husk-fucked the charred remains while gurgling Juggernaut's juggernuts. And you can quote me.
Spoiler! Spoiler!
God. Next note from Violet. Hi there. This is my note. Hello, my favorite trio of peas. I hope you all had a nice summer. Mine was too. If you forget the forest fires and storms causing them, but I survived. Yay. Aw. Yeah, she is the most wholesome person. She'd be on a Jackbox call like, I am sick, and also there's a fire burning my town nearby, but I will play today. And we were like,
I can't breathe due to the air quality, but I will try.
You're joking, but that's what she said. She started coughing, and we were like, are you okay? And she was like, I can't tell if I'm sick or if it's the smoke in the air. And we were like, girl, no! Felt terrible. Fun fact I learned today, I had a not very nice ophthalmic migraine. What the hell? I was not seeing from part of my left eye. I had a headache, light and sound sensitivity. Not a good day. So for the fun fact, I learned that a few of my symptoms for the ophthalmic migraine look a bit like those for a stroke.
Is that the one where
what a nice thing to learn today.
And they basically get like partial blindness or whatever?
Yeah, I've had that before. Once, like a long time ago. It freaked the fuck out of me because it starts in the middle of your eye and it like circles outward. And I was like, am I fucking going blind? It was freaky.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, but fun fact, those symptoms mimic a stroke. What a nice thing to learn today. I am mostly tired now, but a good night of sleep should help. I wish a nice start of the school year for all the students and lots of health to every P's. Aww. I really hope you get better. Note from our new $15 patron, Aquatic Naturalist. Podcast note. Hi, everybody. I'm Aquatic Naturalist, your everyday, unmedicated, unlicensed biologist with a specialty in aquatic life. For instance, I woke up one morning to a snapping turtle chilling in my driveway. I took it in a tote, and we sat and listened to the podcast for half an hour. I named it Mr. Pequeño and released it at our nearby lake. I'm sending a picture of this with you if you want to show it to the call. Aww.
That's not a fake story.
I was like, oh.
This guy's an asshole. Look at him. He's like, I fucking hate this shit. Let me
He's
go.
He's like, how dare you?
I wonder where they're located. Not trying to dox the person, but like...
I know, I'm like,
where
Australia?
They're just getting turtles in their driveway.
Yeah, right.
In hell.
Michigan.
Yeah. Also, I'm actually working on scientific research while listening to this podcast. It is a strange combo listening to poop and cum jokes while also writing a scientific report for people to base their future research on. That's crazy. Can you imagine? When like you're listening to stuff and you accidentally write in the word you hear?
Yeah.
I hope you're not writing cum in there.
Mommy milkers.
Daniel is Homelander. Daniel is Homelander. Daniel is Homelander. Who the hell is Daniel?
In the middle of a scholarly article.
Next note from Retroscriptor. Seed case note. When I was a child, I went to our Catholic church every Sunday. We went to one where they spoke Spanish, so I was never interested in listening, just hiding under benches and sleeping against my baby brother. Racist. We stopped going after we had to...
You say racist. Was it like the bilingual one where it's like English then Spanish? Yeah, that's how mine was.
We stopped going after we had to work every single day and never had time at that point. I don't want to say that's where my lack of faith comes from, but I did enjoy spending the time I spent with my family and getting food from the elote man. After I moved to Texas... Elote? Yeah, that. I don't... Sorry. Elote? I was like, this sounds like Slenderman. The elote man. Who the hell? It's just Slenderman with like a priest hat.
Oh, that's so funny. The emote man.
Aura. The ash of the Father and Christ will pass. Whatever they say in Catholic church.
Latin hymn.
I don't think we say that.
No, can't say.
Sorry, the elote man. After I moved to Texas, I was the school mascot, an owl, if you were curious. And during that time, I labeled myself as an atheist in a small Baptist town. Following the cheerleaders after a football game, we'd stand in a circle and pray together, pinkies crossed with the person beside you. I never thought of leaving before they did that. I found it comforting in a way. Do you still follow a certain religion? And if so, what was your faith journey like? If not, do you feel bad for not being religious? Oh boy, we've covered so much on this podcast when it comes to this. Very loaded, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, whoo!
What happens when you die?
Why did we kill God?
Why did the Jews kill God? That's what my grandma said one time to my uncle. My aunt married a Jewish man. She's like, so why'd you guys kill him? Like at Christmas. This was at Christmas.
At Christmas.
She's like, why did you guys do it? Why'd you do it?
As if you could speak for all of them.
Yeah, right. And he's like, huh?
Well, actually...
I just kind of fucking hated him. He was
he's
leaving all this bread, moldy bread everywhere he was going. Yeah, we had to clean it all up.
He's the very New York one. Yeah, he's like,
so funny.
New York.
Yeah, he's like, huh?
I love New York Jews. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, he's very much one. He's very much
cool.
One. He's very much the stereotype of one as well. Amen. So I love him. Love that man. Me personally, I'm not super involved in church anymore, but I was.
I think a lot of us come from those backgrounds, but I think we all hate Christian nationalists and that whole terrorism sect that's evolving in the U.S. So,
you know, you guys hate Christians. I don't have an issue with them.
You like the nationalist ones? Those ones?
That's the one you like, Nick. You like them?
No.
You love them.
The ones that want to deport every Mexican.
All of us, my whole family.
My whole family.
No, I grew up Catholic. I didn't my family is not like a freak religious family. In other words, like we'd go to church, but like every now and then, like a handful of times a year. I'm still religious, but not like I'm very accepting of other religions. I'm not forcing my religion down other people's throats. I don't care if like someone's atheist or not. I'm not going to be like, dude, it's fine.
Yeah.
You're allowed to believe whatever you believe in. I don't come after other people.
He's a radical.
I'm very non-denominational. I don't think I really like follow a specific sect or whatever you want to call it. But
I'm like Catholic, but I'm not like, I don't know, because that's just what I grew up with. But I'm not like, I don't judge anyone. Like, very supportive of like gay people, and people are like, oh, but you're Catholic, and I'm like, dude, I don't like.
But you're Catholic.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know. People are people, accept everyone.
Hey, the Pope is saying gay slurs now. It's all okay.
Yeah, he's cool with it now.
You know what I mean? Like, it's I don't know. It's not that deep.
I don't identify necessarily as Catholic anymore. That's like how I grew up, and my family's like very like die hard, like strict with that. Mm-hmm. To them, being Catholic is like you have to follow like very specific set of rules. Like you have to be, like you had to have been like baptized when you were born. You had to like go through like confirmation and
Last note from Catalyst. So choose your own adventure. In the following section, you'll be given a choice of setting and character to kick all this off. In future notes, we'll create a story and offer choices for actions based on your decisions. I hope you have fun with this, and I'm super excited to do it with you. That's fun. So your setting is 1, dark forest in the mountains, 2, abandoned urban center, and 3, prairie farm. I love dark forests myself, but what do you guys...
That's good with me. I like a forest.
Well, Nick, what were your thoughts?
Forest is fine. Yeah. No, it's just...
Oh, do we all have to pick one separately, or
that's a good point. Let's all pick one separately, just in case. So,
okay.
Forest for me.
Option 2.
Okay, I'll do the prairie. I'll be a prairie gal.
Catalyst can be like, that's not what I fucking want. Now I gotta write fucking 3 stories. Damn it,
I'm like, oh shit.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have given us all these options.
Yeah, right. I was like, do we all have to come on an agreement on one, or do we all pick our own?
Next one, characters. A 60-year-old man with no known family. A 30-year-old non-binary individual with a dark secret. A 21-year-old girl who lost her left pinky in a skateboarding accident.
I want to know how she lost her pinky.
I'm very curious about the pinky.
The wheel?
I like Dark Secrets, so number 2.
Option 3.
Alright, I'm the old head.
There we go.
This is going to be a disaster, dude.
Her next message is just, I hate you, I unsub.
Okay, if you don't want to do each of us, just go with Daniel's options. There you go.
Oh, don't go with
mine. They give him an out.
Exactly. There we go.
And our last one here, our last note from Lucas, new patron also. When you do read this, say my name as it is in the Discord server. Daniel's long lost testicle, I think is what it's called.
Oh, BTW, it's that one.
Sorry. Okay, so a new note from Daniel's long lost testicle. Perfect.
Oh, there it is. Oh, thanks. Well, what does your testicle have to say?
I finally became an S member of the Patreon because each intro I get threatened by Daniel and I'm scared of him and his baby blue eyes. I've been listening to this since episode 1. I was around since 16 at that time.
Yeah, if you know the testicle reference.
Yeah. He's been around. Lately, since then, a bunch of stuff has happened. Breakup, finished high school, got a job. But the podcast has helped me a little bit through all this sad stuff. And I was only able to get the $15 tier because money and plus saving stuff. I'm also, for my next paycheck, going to save up to a fursuit because that community has really helped me get through life and has gotten me friends I would never have otherwise. These suits are really expensive, yeah, I've heard. And really hard to put together. No slander, please. Also, what did you think about the Olympics? And yeah, no, and the Mr. Beast situation, and
oh shit,
love the podcast situation. Also, it was only a matter of time before Daniel got a death threat. Also, a friend of mine also has IBS, loves Venom and your Venom videos, Daniel. Thank you.
Wow, you should befriend that person.
Also, I wonder how many people edged to this.
Oh, I guess I've never contemplated
concentrating.
It.
I didn't really see any of the Olympics this year just because I haven't really seen the Olympics ever since fucking college, I guess. I just got annoyed at all the fucking right-wing stuff that was fucking up the Olympics since it started, but other than that. Did you guys watch the Olympics this year? I mean, you watched Jeopardy,
all
so...
Of it.
0% of it.
No, I said I wasn't watching Jeopardy at all because I'd been on the break. I watched only the Olympics. That's pretty much all I've been watching.
Is that the same channel? Like, is the NBC?
I think some of the coverage is the same.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah, I guess something interesting I saw was when, what's her name? Jordan Childs. She's like...
Yeah.
She was from Washington, so people were like,
"Woo, really?
local," and she got the bronze, and then it got taken. Yeah, I mean, I watched that, and people are pissed about it, but I watched it not live because it happened before then, but I watched the primetime coverage of it. But yeah, the Romanian girl who came in 5th or 6th or something, I think she deserved 3rd. Nobody's talking about that, but she got totally robbed. She, got penalized for stepping out of the box in this one, square. And, I don't know the term, sorry, I don't know terminology for gymnastics, but she was doing the floor routine. Sorry to anger all
the gymnastics listeners.
Yeah, sorry. But she was they were doing the floor routine and it said she stepped out in the corner. But then they re-showed the footage, they replayed it, and she didn't. And so I was like, she got majorly penalized for that, and she didn't even step out. And so then she ended up tying.
All those cameras in slow motion, they couldn't fucking figure that out.
And right. And so she ended up tying with the girl who placed above her. Because she got placed, because that girl got placed above her, even though they had the exact same score, it was technically hers was a more difficult, routine.
That's so dumb.
So, I thought that girl, and I thought the other girl did way better, too. And then that girl ended up getting 3rd, the one who overtook her score. And then watching it live, it was she was celebrating, and as she was celebrating, it was they made a score adjustment, and then Jordan Childs won. And it was all super weird watching it happen. It looked like it was so fixed for the US because it's it was all of a sudden this girl was Jordan Childs was ranked way lower, and then all of a sudden it was boom, she's in 3rd. And it was so weird watching it live, and she's just celebrating, and so it's devastating that she got it taken away from her. But honestly, I think the girl that got ranked even lower did better than both of them. But that's just my opinion. I don't know any of the technicalities behind judging or anything, so
We're not gymnastics experts here, folks.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, I watched a lot of stuff. It was really good, you know.
I trust you, yeah.
There was there's lots of crazy events. I love watching that stuff, like the athletic feats. Yeah, the freaking Australian one. That lady was. I can't believe how embarrassing it was.
I saw memes about the Turkish shooter because I guess he showed up in like a t-shirt or something. He was
the
just,
dad looking one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as the Mr. Beast situation, I feel like there's a few, and I don't follow him, and nor do I give a shit. I guess
I just heard that like a bunch of.
I think it just part of me just not to like downplay people that talk about stuff, but I mean like it just seems like I don't know. People were complaining about his Amazon show was like the worst situation ever, and people were getting hypothermia and fingers were falling off and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, probably some of that's true, but probably some people are probably exaggerating it. And then like some whistleblower.
Yeah, but you also probably sign off on like.
Yeah, and like some whistleblower came out and said, okay, yeah, not all of that's true, but like some of that is true, and it's not a great experience. But part of that I think is just like it's not that I'm saying he's a good person, but like that's what reality TV does. Reality TV's always tortured people.
It's like that's the nature of like those like
that's
challenge
the nature of the way it works. They push people to their limits,
and they force them to fill out a bunch of safety type form things. So like, unfortunately, they probably have terrible experiences, and I'm not trying to invalidate any of that. Yeah. But yeah, when you do that, you kind of sign up for it to a certain extent.
And then I guess like he's just getting exposed for like a lot of people that are like the whole thing though. If I'm going to boil down something very complicated, it seems like it's like just promoting like an unreasonable standard to kids of like you could be in this show and you can win this stuff. And in reality, like a lot of the people in his videos that are supposed to be like regular people are like his producers or someone on his staff. Like they just kind of fill the void with like people that are already there.
There's always connections.
Yeah.
That's how everything is in the entertainment industry in general. Sorry, kids.
And then also unfortunately, because a lot of right-wing people were attacking Mr. Beast because he had someone trans on his group. But then, the trans community was fucking pissed because after all the defending they did for that person, it turns out they were, like, a pedophile who had messaged a bunch of minors a bunch of stuff all the time. And they were like, God damn it. So they had to be, like, not defending her anymore. And, you know.
The only thing I knew about her was that she used to have, like, really edgy humor.
Yeah. And apparently it went more than that. Apparently there was a bunch of DMs and stuff. So that sucks.
Bruh.
But like, also, I'm like,
how hard is it to not be a pedophile?
That's what everyone's asked that girl that's fucking working at the pool.
I know, right? She's really trying to push me to. She's like, "Are you sure you're not one? Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Hold on."
She's giving you hugs and touching. Yeah,
I know,
weird.
right? I'm like, she's the one touching me, dude. It's
we're so friends. Creepy. No, we're fucking not.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, stay away from me.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that's the end of our Patreon notes, I think. Yup.
Oh yeah, did you want to comment on your religion, Daniel?
Oh, I thought I kind of did, but same as you guys. Yeah, I mean, there's just there's a lot of things that happened when I was a kid that we joke about now, like the giving away the dragon Lego set to the homeless kids.
Yes, to check the song
because dragons were in there, and like not wanting their kids to listen to Harry Potter was a huge thing that like a lot of them. But they love it now. They're like, what the hell were we not listening to this stuff before? I'm like, because you didn't want us to. You thought it was dark magic.
What the heck? It's like very slight, a bunch of slight religious traumas over and over, basically.
Yeah, so I think part of that was like the whole stringent stuff going on and like your first kid being way too protective and sheltered, so it's a lot. I mean, it's been normal for a while now, but like, you are completely right. For a while there was, we read that note from my young self being like, if I'm silly, God will kill me.
yeah. And I was
so there's been, to keep it basic, there's still been a lot of religious trauma that I've been working out of, as you guys, like, even as close as, like, last year. I mean, it's weird to know the hold that stuff can have on you unless you've experienced it. Like, I've talked to Allie about it a lot, too. Yeah. She's been on the podcast a couple times. Like, just the things that we grew up in, like having to pull out of them as adults, and it's hard to.
Yeah.
It's weird to describe to someone that hasn't had a religion as a part of their growing up. Like,
yeah,
you're like, no, I mean, it's like how do you explain that in your 20s you think God will literally zap you with lightning? They're like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And you're like, yes, it's like, it is.
It's like all religion is slightly cult-like. You have to admit it, even if you're a part of it. It's like they do try to ingrain a lot of things into you, even if they try to do what's best and give you like a moral compass. And
because like good, even
there are just so many aspects of it.
Like even the people that aren't cult, like it's like when you're kids, it's like they don't want to explain to you the semantics of stuff, so they just say like, well, you're gonna go to hell. You know, they just like they give up trying to explain stuff.
There's no nuances to that.
So you grow up terrified of all this stuff, and it's like, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, thanks guys for jumping on. I know everybody's busy with jobs and getting glass shards out of their fucking feet. And clearing out fucking warehouses of boxes and papers and stuff.
Warehouses.
Insane.
Dude, yeah, that was so funny to me that like how much paper you guys went through. I was like, "There's no way this is real."
Comical amount of paper.
44 years of 44 years of
documents, dude.
Anyway, have a lovely evening, everybody.
Okay,
all right, we made $3 this week.
Woohoo!